Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Hello, my wonderful grade. How y'all doing? We are back with Kane Pixels Back Rooms series. Another 2 video shorter video, but long enough because I keep jabbing my gums. This video is Backrooms Damage Control. If you haven't been following along with my journey into his Backroom series, well, go back and watch him. What you doing? But let's see what we got in this one. 14 minutes and 2 seconds long.
Mark, this is Team A. Do you read us?
Oh, this was when Mark got shot. That's good. Team A, and yeah, Mark was Team B.
Mark, this is Team A. Do you read us?
Hey team, this is Mark. I read you. What are you doing? We need immediate armed support in room 14C. My team.
Like, why the hell? Mark, you're an idiot. Also, why is Subtire's not walking?
Are being held at gunpoint by a hostile. I repeat, please send immediate.
Yes, I'm being held at gunpoint by a hostile who can hear me and see me telling you this.
Armed support to room 14C of your plan.
Bang.
For that panel, it should connect.
Damn. Yeah, with how quiet the Backrooms is, they probably had that miles away.
What was that?
Oh, there he goes, Peter. Oh God. He's loose in the building with a gun. Or did he get trapped? Did they throw him back in the back rooms and hope he died, or what? Because he is hauling ass to get out. He does not want to be there. That guy like, what the? Don't get in his way. He will shoot you, clearly. Where the fuck does gun go? He drop it? Okay, well.
I'd like to thank you all once again for your patience on this. It has been a stressful 15 hours for all of us here, and while he cannot currently be with us, Dr. Beck sends his apologies regarding the numerous inconveniences caused by our decision to keep you here overnight.
Lovely, lovely.
Now, it appears that the situation has reached a point of some stability. We're still looking into a few things, but I feel that we can now properly address what occurred without running into speculation.
No shit.
What happened last night should not have happened.
No.
Not here, not with us. What occurred was a gross misunderstanding that was the result of some severe information misconception.
You know, normally when they say that is that, we didn't want to tell you the truth, so now that the cat's out of the bag, we're gonna try to tell you that we didn't want to tell you, or we couldn't tell you.
Management. Even now, I believe most of you still have an incomplete idea of what took place last night.
Yeah.
So before I fill you in, I need to address the fact that there has been information deliberately withheld from many of you on the project.
Great.
Now, these choices were not made lightly, and were done for only the best of reasons.
Doubt.
However, I want to make it abundantly clear that following the events of last night, It has been proven to us that that method of conducting ourselves was not viable.
Yeah, no, when a guy shoots another guy with his own shotgun and runs through the facility with said shotgun, he could have killed everyone there. If he really was crazy enough, he could have shot every single one of them. He had ample time.
So, I'm coming to you now to correct this mistake and begin delivering the authentic order of events as we understand them.
Uh-huh. Let's see.
On the morning of March 1st, a team of 4 researchers was sent into the complex to conduct a routine layout analysis.
Uh-huh.
George Levy, Marvin Lee,
Peter Tench.
Ronald McCarthy, and Peter...
Oh, so that's why Marvin knew him. Marvin was on his team. Okay, I didn't catch that. That's cool.
At around 12:25 p.m., the group realized that they had lost track of Tench while traversing a previously accessed branch of hallways.
Yep, because he decided to go off because he heard music and got teleported.
As you'll recall, this prompted an immediate withdrawal of response back to standard, followed by several days of significant search efforts. However, those ultimately yielded nothing, and as far as any of us were concerned, Tench had simply vanished, leaving no physical trace. Now, for obvious reasons, that wasn't something that we could disclose to the public. So, roughly 2 weeks following his disappearance, our security team was forced to put together a more acceptable cause of death that would keep attention away from this institute and provide closure to the family. So, that is all close to common knowledge, I presume. Not all of you were with us at the time of the incident, however, you're certainly aware of the effects it has had on our internal procedures over the past few months. Regardless, that was where Tench's involvement in this came to an end. Or, at least, that's what we assumed.
Yeah.
Because on May 8th, at approximately 5:30 p.m., a motion alert was sent out from the complex, which was closed off at the time. One of our senior engineers was sent down to assess the situation and discovered a male dressed in hazard gear who we were able to identify as Peter Tench. Immediately following this discovery, Tench was moved to a secure room on this floor where, over the following days, a select group of doctors were able to administer a panel of tests in order to determine what had happened to Peter in the 2 months he'd been gone.
Sorry about that. Dog break.
A panel of tests in order to determine what had happened to Peter in the 2 months he'd been gone.
He got lost?
Those tests yielded very little useful information.
No,
By our measures, Peter appeared to be in excellent health.
Yeah.
However, we were still provided one very useful tool in understanding how the situation unfolded from his perspective.
The voice. The music.
Some of you may recall that on the day of his disappearance, Tench was his team's designated camera operator. Well, when we recovered him, he still had that camera in his possession, and in fact had documented the entire ordeal. The footage will be presented in its entirety later today. However, for the purpose of this discussion, I will only be highlighting key events.
When he got teleported? I hate ads.
This is the hallway where Peter was last seen. They're not in view, but you can hear the others walking behind him. Now, as he approaches the branch on the right here, pay close attention to the audio.
Guys, can you hear this? Guys, can you hear this? Hey!
Now, I'd like to save the discussion for afterwards, but what you just saw is what we believe to be the moment that Peter was instantaneously transported 2 months forward in time.
Oh, so he wasn't just stuck in there for 2 months. No, he instantly went 2 months forward in time.
Following that abrupt flash you just saw, Tench proceeds back out into the hallway in search of his team, but is without any indication of their presence. The next 30 or so minutes of the tape follow fairly panicked Tench as he attempts to navigate his way back to the threshold. He does obviously find his way back. However, the threshold appears not as he knows it, but as it appeared on the date of May 8th. And this ties us back to the moment when we recovered him. So, to summarize, from his point of view, he had only been inside the complex for several hours, So to him, all of the new developments surrounding the threshold were completely foreign. Luckily, though, as I already mentioned, there were people available to manage the situation as it unfolded. And over the course of the following days, we were able to properly sit down with Peter and work with him to gain a collective understanding of what had happened.
So, is the room? Or was it just one of those unexplained happenings that just suddenly happened in the back rooms? Like how you can suddenly fall to another level?
However, there was still the very significant fact that Mr. Tench was considered legally deceased as a result of the cover story, and reversing that would be no easy feat. He understood this and was willing to cooperate while we looked for a way to reintegrate him without raising suspicion.
Right.
Unfortunately, though, that process ended up taking quite a bit longer than we had anticipated. And all the while, Peter was sucked out here, waiting idly by. We did our best to keep him engaged, but it is hard to combat the effects of prolonged sensory deprivation on the human brain. And as a result, Peter's mental state took a toll. Not to a degree that was outright concerning at first, but around the end of week 2, we noticed that he was starting to exhibit a number of behaviors common in patients diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. Though we don't have reason to believe that Mr. Tench was afflicted with that condition. Whatever the case, while he didn't express it outright, from what we could gather, he appeared to have deluded himself into believing that he was still inside some sort of illusion created by the complex, and that we were secretly looking to do him harm. This all came to a head on the night of the 22nd, when, while Tench was finally about to be transferred to a temporary above-ground residence, he broke away from us and, using stolen credentials, forced his way back into the complex where he would go undiscovered until just last night, when he ambushed and violently attacked Team B in room 14C, leaving Dr. Bloom in critical condition.
I'd be amazed if he's alive.
We can presume that during the 2 or so days Tench spent in the complex, he let go of the idea that he could somehow escape through an alternate threshold, but still held on to the belief that all of us here were working to trap him in some way, despite our actions saying exactly the opposite. Immediately after firing a single shot from the Remington 870 to Dr. Bloom's side, Tench fled the scene and headed to the threshold outpost, where he would turn the weapon on several more of you while progressing into standard and through the lower offices. Given the abrupt and chaotic nature of the unfolding situation, it took our security team several moments longer than it ideally should have to figure out what was happening. But
Well, it doesn't help you had a whopping 2 people on security, because one of them was shot.
thankfully, while Tench was passing through one of the empty labs next to storage, Dr. Maxwell was able to act quickly and managed to disarm him, accidentally discharging the weapon into the ceiling.
That's the guy who was on the phone, wasn't it? In that one video you were watching, the guy who was walking, who I said he's got that swagger. Okay.
Process, though. However, Tench still managed to avoid apprehension, fleeing into the maintenance wing and evading our security staff by taking the freight elevator to the surface. Now, this situation could have played out very badly, given the potential number of witnesses around the building at the time. But, luckily for everyone involved, as far as we can tell, Tench was not noticed as he exited the property.
Wait, that's your priority, not the fact that all of them could have been killed?
Around 5.
So let me get this straight. You were more worried about covering your own ass than the fact that your employees could have gotten gunned down? And one of them dead?
5 minutes later, our security team made it to the ground floor and began a thorough sweep in the direction of the hillside where cameras had last observed Tench. Now, there's no easy way to say this other than to just say it. I am terribly sorry to inform you all,
Let me
but
guess, Mark's
Mr.
dead?
Tench was found deceased halfway down the hillside. The result of an extreme blow to the head. It appears that while he was running through some brush, he failed to anticipate a sudden dip in the ground tragically fell forward into a large rock.
Down.
Given the circumstances, it was not something any of us could have anticipated or prevented. The tragedy of the entire situation undoubtedly remains, but Dr. Tench, regardless of how troubled he was in his final days, was a brilliant man who gave his all to this project. He would certainly not want us hindering it in his name. What we're doing here is so much bigger than any one person. It is the work of a unified effort, and we need to ensure that that is never lost sight of. That we hold on to the pre-established notion that Peter is and has been deceased.
The
That
sunset.
is done, and there is nothing more to be extracted.
Hold on.
Nothing more.
Okay, so first off, yeah, they're just worried about covering their own ass. A syringe could mean multiple things. Could mean they were actually attempting to extract blood from him, trying to figure out what's up. They could have drugged him, thinking about it. His old set. Him running down the street. And then him getting shot, I imagine, is what it was. Because that's clearly him running down the street. I'm assuming he gets shot. And I would assume so. Yeah, they're more worried about covering their own ass. Ain't that lovely? And this is the phone call, I'm guessing. The other side of it. The other guy was like, hey, yeah. Holy hell, that's a lot to unpack there. Oh my god, this might be my favorite one yet. Because you just see the blatant butchery. But, man. We're not even done with this video yet. We've got one more video, but I want to look in the comments to see if I might miss something, and then I'm going to talk. Okay, nothing new. But, so, let's begin. So, I don't believe he's dead. I don't believe Peter's dead. The phone call and the images flash at the end here. Plus, they say that we need to ensure what we're doing is so much bigger than one person. We need to ensure that it's never lost sight of, that we hold on to the pre-established notion that Peter is deceased. So yeah, they're feeding them more bullshit, saying that he is and always will be deceased, even if he comes back. Because at the end, when these images flash, right here, that's security. So yeah, no, they're holding still more information, and that's Peter running away. So he didn't die on the hillside, or if he did die, he got shot in the back of the head by the security. So, yeah, no, they're lying to him again. Shocker. I love the reactions to other people listening in on him talking this bull. You can hear them gasping and saying shit, and just talking in the background. That's so good. I love that. But yeah, I believe Peter's still alive. And I don't know. Because why would he run into the back rooms without the suit on? Because if he's worried about the suit, and plus he was talking to Marvin, like saying, they took it from me. So I believe Async is not still lying to their employees. What a shocker. But let's move on to the last video, shall we? Alrighty, this is the last video of this reaction. It's a really short one called Backrooms Overflow. 1:38, not too long. Something I forgot to mention the other before we cut to this one is that I love how it possibly answers some questions, but also adds cliffhangers. Like, did he just escape into the back rooms because he was terrified? Or did he run away because they were drugging him and trying to mess with him? Because those ending images would suggest they were doing something to him that made him want to run.
The trade between market and non-market economies.
Uh-huh.
Well, as I've said, that our negotiations in this area with the Soviets are just beginning. Commerce Secretary Peterson returned yesterday. 2 weeks, mostly in Moscow, but also in Warsaw, during which time very considerable progress was made.
That's good.
We're narrowing our differences, which have kept us from settling our Lend-Lease debt for 25 years. And the good faith which the Soviets would demonstrate by settling the debt would set the stage for a presidential order permitting Exim Bank credits for sales to the Soviets. And it would also open the way for a presidential request of the Congress that would act the United States.
Oh, my eyeballs. Overflowed. It's about to pop like a grenade. Jerome Bask, advisor. Okay, dokie. If you recognize the day, it's before 1990. A short video. Like, and read through the comments like normal. Okay, so 1972. Clearly, this has been happening forever, and Ivan has been clearly trying this even before the prototype was built in 72. Which is interesting because we see that green crackle flash like at the end of the found footage too, which took the girl away. Don't know what happened to her. Whew, interesting. What I find interesting too is the ending bit here of the clouds. It's like a mirror reflecting. I wonder if that's like symbolizing the back room. Because if you remember, as well as in found footage 2 and the home.move, that there was a lot of similarities between what was shown in the film and the found footage. Like the rooms, the picture, the car, like a lot of it. Crazy. But, reached the end of my video. If you did enjoy, please go show some love to Kane Pixels by liking and subscribing their videos and give them some watch time. Helps out. And if you enjoyed my reaction or my commentary or editing, please stick around and subscribe. Or like the video too, that helps out a lot. But with this, we've reached the end. So, I'll say what I always say at the end of my videos. Bye-bye.